When you say, why has Harry ended up with such a kicking from the media, the idea that it's his own fault for refusing to dance to the media's tune, for writing his own books, for putting his own side of the story. And you say, well, he gives all these interviews. Andrew gave an interview to Emily Maitlis in which his entire life was sort of falling about his feet by the end of it. And he stood up and walked away thinking he'd played a blind. I mean, it just doesn't hold. It is, of all the subjects we cover together on the radio, the one that I think most illustrates the subtle ways in which the media infects the way we think is this one. Because so many people who would ordinarily know much better and have quite a clear line on things are absolutely persuaded that Harry and Meghan are the wrong uns. And that the royal family as it is, or Kate and William, or even Andrew Windsor, that they're the good guys. It's extraordinary, and it hasn't happened by accident. It is the best example, with the possible exception of Brexit, it is the best example of media gaslighting that I have witnessed in my life. And speaking of Brexit, find me someone that hates Harry and Meghan, but can't really tell you why, except something, loyalty something, and I'll find you someone that voted for Brexit.
Ask someone why they dislike Harry and Meghan, and you'll often get vague answers, hesitant shrugs, or a quick change of subject. Press a little further, and the reasons become even more elusive, often reduced to a handful of familiar phrases. You'll hear something about arrogance, or that they turned their backs on the royal family. Some mention their decision to step away from royal duties, or claim they're seeking attention. But this animosity isn't organic. It's been carefully cultivated by the British media over years, drip-feeding the public a steady diet of criticism, speculation, and sensationalism. The story sold is simple and compelling. A prince and his wife abandoning duty for luxury, painted as hypocrites for seeking privacy while signing lucrative media deals. It's a narrative that's easy to digest and even easier to repeat. This narrative fits the public's expectations of royalty: stoic, dutiful, silent, and always putting the institution first, no matter the personal cost. When Harry and Meghan broke that mould by speaking openly about their struggles, challenging the status quo, and making choices for themselves, they became villains in a pre-written play, cast out for daring to be different. The dislike taps into deeper ideas of tradition, loyalty, and what it means to be properly British, making nuanced conversation nearly impossible. It's about more than just two people. It's about identity, change, and the discomfort that comes with both. Most can't articulate their dislike because it's been shaped by years of headlines, not facts, leaving opinions that feel personal, but are actually the product of a relentless media machine. The royal family and the British press have long had a toxic, unspoken pact, a relationship built on mutual benefit, but also on mutual suspicion. For decades, the monarchy has relied on the press to maintain its public image, while the media has depended on royal access to sell papers and drive headlines. This arrangement, known as the Royal Rota, grants select journalists privileged access in exchange for deference and positive coverage. It's a delicate dance, with both sides aware of the power the other holds. But Harry broke that pact, refusing to play along after witnessing firsthand the devastating impact it had on his mother, Princess Diana. The relentless pursuit by paparazzi, the constant scrutiny, and the lack of empathy from the press left deep scars. Determined to reclaim his own story, Harry bypassed the royal rota entirely. He chose to speak out on his own terms, through Oprah, a revealing Netflix docuseries, and his memoir, Spare, sharing his truth directly with the world. This was unprecedented, a senior royal seizing control of his own narrative, refusing to let the press define him or his family. It marked a dramatic shift in how the monarchy interacts with the media. The press responded with fury, branding him a traitor, twisting his words, and launching a barrage of negative headlines. Their outrage was palpable, as if Harry had broken an ancient code. Instead of addressing his concerns about intrusion, privacy, and mental health, the media doubled down, attacking him personally, questioning his motives, and even ridiculing his struggles. Harry's rebellion wasn't just protocol breaking, It was a direct challenge to the media's power and the unwritten rules that have governed royal coverage for generations. By speaking directly to the public, he exposed the transactional nature of the monarchy-press relationship, revealing how stories are shaped and spun behind closed doors. The relentless hostility he and Meghan now face is the price of that defiance. Every step they take is met with scrutiny, criticism, and often outright hostility from the tabloids. The media's authority was threatened, and they've never forgiven him for challenging their dominance or for exposing the machinery behind royal reporting. For Harry, telling his truth meant war with an industry that demands control. His rebellion is not just personal, it's a battle over who gets to shape the story of the monarchy in the modern age. The media's treatment of Harry and Meghan versus other royals is stark. From the moment their relationship became public, the coverage has been relentless, often negative, and deeply personal. Headlines dissect their every move, scrutinizing their choices in a way that feels both invasive and unfair. William and Kate are cast as the dutiful future of the monarchy, the golden couple who can do no wrong, while Harry and Meghan are painted as disruptive outsiders, blamed for breaking tradition and stirring controversy. The contrast in coverage is impossible to ignore. Compare this to Prince Andrew, whose serious scandals faded from headlines far faster than the daily attacks on the Sussexes. Despite the gravity of his controversies, the media seemed eager to move on, while Harry and Meghan remain under constant scrutiny for far less. Even minor missteps are weaponized against Meghan. Staff changes become evidence of her being difficult, her fashion choices are dissected, and her every gesture is analysed for hidden meaning. Meanwhile, similar stories about Kate are brushed off or even spun into positive narratives. The same actions are praised in one and condemned in the other. When Kate cradles her baby bump, she's celebrated as a loving mother. When Meghan does the same, she's accused of being attention-seeking. The double standard is blatant and persistent. Both brothers have clashed with the press, but Harry is called petulant, William protective. The narrative is carefully crafted to elevate one while undermining the other, regardless of the facts. The media has chosen its hero and villain. Facts be damned. This isn't just about reporting, it's about shaping public perception, creating a story that fits a familiar mould. This selective framing shields some royals while leaving Harry and Meghan exposed, vulnerable to criticism and public backlash. The difference in protection is as visible as it is troubling. The double standard is glaring and intentional. It's a reminder of the power the media holds and the consequences when that power is wielded without fairness or accountability. From the start, Meghan faced scrutiny no royal partner had before, much of it laced with racism and sexism. Her background, career, and even her handwriting became targets. The double standard was blatant. Kate's baby bump was glowing, Meghan's was showing off. Avocado toast was a health trend for Kate, extravagance for Meghan. Even her distress over a fire in Archie's nursery was mocked until corroborated. The press twisted every gesture, painting Meghan as an outsider. This wasn't accountability. It was a campaign to dismantle her reputation. The attacks were personal, invasive, and designed to break her spirit. The Meghan effect is a case study in how media bias can destroy a public figure. Amid this media storm, the royal family's silence was deafening. A simple statement or show of support could have changed everything, but none came. Meghan revealed the told suicidal thoughts, denied help, and a sense of abandonment. The palace's never complain, never explain mantra failed in the face of modern media. Silence was seen as agreement, letting false stories become accepted fact. Harry saw this as a personal betrayal, especially given the palace's protection of others. The message was clear. Harry and Meghan were left to weather the storm alone. Their fight wasn't just with the press, but with an institution unwilling to defend them. Harry and Meghan's move to California was a bid for privacy, but the scrutiny followed. Their lives, business deals, charity work, even neighbourhood rumours remain tabloid fodder. Meghan's legal victory over the Mail on Sunday proved the press's willingness to invade their privacy. Even local stories paint them as disruptive outsiders, blamed for everything from property prices to traffic. Critics twist their desire for privacy into accusations of hypocrisy. But they never asked for seclusion, just an end to harassment and intrusion. Sharing their story on their terms isn't the same as being stalked by paparazzi. The siege continues because negative stories about them still sell. The divide over Harry and Meghan is vast, but much of the animosity is media-made. Years of double standards and relentless criticism have created a villainous caricature. Most people can't cite specific reasons for their dislike. It's a feeling manufactured by headlines. The couple isn't above criticism, but the coverage has been obsessive and disproportionate. The media's goal wasn't accountability, but punishment for breaking the rules. Their story is a warning about the power of the press to shape reality. When you look at the evidence, it's hard to argue the treatment has been fair.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, that was a great submission. And to all our peculiar and amazing Sussex family, thank you all for working with us in this juncture, for supporting Harry and Meghan. And do not forget to subscribe, like, and put a comment. Bye bye. See you in our next episode.